We are talking about the Masterworks Chorale of Carroll County's concert, Here I Sing, commemorating the 500th anniversary of the Reformation, as well as the 150th anniversary of McDaniel College. The concert will take place on Sunday, November 19th at 3 p.m. in the afternoon at Big Baker Memorial Chapel on the campus of McDaniel College. Tickets are available from Chorale members, or you can purchase them online through the website www.masterworksofcc.org. I am a professor of music and director of choral activities at McDaniel College. I've been there since 1989, and what that means is that I direct the choirs at McDaniel College, and I have also taught many courses in music history over the years. I've been in this field of choral music for going on 50 years now, so we've explored a great deal of repertoire. And with Masterworks, which is an adult volunteer chorale in the community, our focus is from what we call the European American classical tradition primarily. The Reformation, it started on October 31st, 1517, All Hallows Eve, that we call Halloween, the night before All Saints' Day, when a Roman Catholic cleric named Martin Luther decided it was a good idea to make a few suggestions that he thought everyone should think about to reform the Catholic Church at that time. The reason that we are inspired to celebrate this in a concert is because Martin Luther really loved music. He was a singer himself. He played the lute. So he was analogous to the modern guitar player, kind of a rock star of his time. He played the lute. He and his family sang on almost a daily basis, and he felt that that music was an extremely important part of everyone's religious experience. He has a very famous quote in which he says that next to the Word of God itself, music is the most powerful entity to help individuals feel the touch of God himself. So that's quite a paraphrase, but that's basically what he said. Another thing to say tied to that is, I talked about the hymns. His greatest hit, the thing that was best known, was a hymn called A Mighty Fortress Is Our God. And that hymn is particularly associated with McDaniel College because from the 1890s into the 1970s, the McDaniel College Choir, then called the Western Maryland College Choir, would sing that hymn at the beginning of every major ceremonial event at the college. So in the concert that we're going to have on November 19th, the current McDaniel College Choir is part of that program. And we will be performing different verses of that hymn at different times of the concert to break up the different sections of the concert. At the end of the concert, we'll be inviting the audience to join in on the best known version of that hymn. Michael Praetorius, who was one of the most important composers in the generation about 100 years after Martin Luther, is going to be featured a great deal in this concert. I think most people would associate Michael Praetorius with his best-known hymn, Lo How a Rose Ere Blooming. Many people may recognize that as a Christmas hymn. I got to know Michael Praetorius quite well when I was doing my advanced degree at the University of Colorado in Boulder 30 years ago, and I based my dissertation on one of his late works that was published in 1619. And that work included some of the pieces we'll be doing on this concert. Those pieces were included in performance during the 100th anniversary of the Reformation, which took place in Dresden in 1617. I think Praetorius was deeply convinced that, as was Martin Luther, that music was absolutely critical to the health of the community. He was so dedicated to that idea that even in his latest years, as society was becoming increasingly difficult around him, economically, in his final years, the area in which he worked was experiencing an extremely severe economic collapse. The 30 Years' War was beginning to cause tremendous social unrest and displacement in the areas around him. He kept producing more and more music, even as his resources became scarcer. I believe he did that because he truly believed that this was something that would make a difference. He has a famous quote where he says, again, this is quite a paraphrase, but that I will continue to do this until I take my last breath. And it appears to me that he did. He wrote very splendid works, and we will do some of these in our concert, but he also wrote very simple works in many collections, and he wrote in those collections that they were intended for the small parishes and the schools that didn't have the resources to do the large, splendid works, because it was so important that no one be left without the materials to provide all of the people within their community with beautiful examples of sacred music that could move their hearts and their spirits. There will be multiple ensembles on this concert: Masterworks Chorale, the McDaniel College Choir, the Frostburg State University Chorale, which is conducted by Dr. James Redden, who is a 1999 graduate of then Western Maryland College. So we are very proud to welcome him back. He's currently assistant professor and director of choral activities at Frostburg State University. The Children's Chorus of Carroll County will be in this concert. And as I said, they will actually start the concert in the balcony of Big Baker. And we're also welcoming the Washington Cornet and Sackbut Ensemble up from Washington, D.C., which is an award-winning ensemble of early instruments that we're very excited to collaborate with in this concert. They'll be filling in all of the instrumental parts in the big Praetorius works, and they will also be playing together with us on all the big chorales on the concert, including the ones that will involve audience participation. So it will be quite a sound in Big Baker Chapel.